Okay, thank you. We had a little interruption. We had to switch rooms. So now you have a little time to discuss with each other. Okay, if you're done, we would like to invite the second speaker of the opposition.
As Ramon said, we have three arguments why we are against the following statement. Unemployed people have to do some kind of voluntary work to be entitled to unemployment benefits. Well, the first argument is that people who are unemployed do not choose to be unemployed. That's also a reaction to what just Michaël said. Most of the people who have no job are fired because of the recession. They are not happy with this, and they absolutely want a job. These people may have a house and children, so they have a lot of costs. When unemployed people have to do voluntary work, they do not get money for that. And they really need a job to earn money, because they have to pay for the costs. They also have to spend a lot of time in finding a new job, and definitely nowadays, because it's really hard to find a new job. And besides that, they have to spend time in writing application letters, and they have time to go to interviews for a new job. They do not have this time when they have to do voluntary work. Another reason for that is that volunteering means that people choose for that because they want it themselves. When people cannot choose and they are obligated to do this work, you cannot call it voluntary work anymore. Also, people who are requested to do work they do not like, they are not motivated, and it's important that volunteers are motivated and like the work they do. As Fettah said in the introduction, that people motivated by doing volunteering work, that's not true. Because it's not motivated, because they don't get money and they have to pay for costs. The third argument, no attention please. The last argument is that too much voluntary work is not good for the economy, because it can lead to misuse of unemployed people. When unemployed people have to do voluntary work to be entitled to unemployment benefits, it will support companies to create more voluntary work. They will create more voluntary work because it's much cheaper for them, and companies will have most benefits because they can change a normal job in a volunteer job. A normal job with a good salary they can chase in a volunteer job, so they do not have to pay the volunteer. Finally, the government has to pay for it because the government gives unemployment benefits to these volunteers. I also want to say that when unemployed people want to do volunteer work, there is no problem. But it has to be their own choice. Voluntary work must not be obligated.
Thank you. Now I have some time to discuss. We would now like to invite the third speaker of the proposition.
Welcome everyone. To come back to your question, you said that incapacity people cannot work or do any voluntary work. Well, in that case, that's another subject because they have other benefits. In the Netherlands, that's the AOW-uitkering. And so that's not the unemployment benefit. As a conclusion, we can conclude that the unemployment people have to do some kind of voluntary work to be entitled to unemployment benefits. We shared our several arguments. In general, the benefits that come along with voluntary work. For example, we said the increasing of the social life, the mental and physical benefits like working skills. And don't forget the gaps in your resume. With the voluntary work, you gain work experience, which is positive for an upcoming working career. And doing some kind of voluntary work gives the unemployed people a good feeling because they're doing something back for the society. It also motivates people to get a paid job because voluntary works, we all know, doesn't get paid, so they want to get motivated to do a paid job. With these arguments, we hope that we convince the judge and our audience of our opinion, and we'd like to thank you for your attention.
You have some time to discuss now. If you're done, we would like to invite the third speaker of the opposition.
Thank you. I would like to summarize all of our arguments that we have discussed as the opposition. First off, the argument that people who are unemployed do not choose to be unemployed. So we think it's not fair if we really obligate people to do something they dislike or just for the reason that they got fired. I mean, it's not their fault. Of course, voluntary work can be fun if you choose to do so. So if it becomes an obligation, you take away that feeling that charity work is actually doing something good. Next on, the argument volunteering means that people choose for that because they want it themselves. Yeah, if you make it an obligation, sorry, going to do it English. People don't choose to, really get fired, of course. Sometimes it's just because of the economic crisis. So that people get fired doesn't really mean that they want to do so. Of course, they can be wanting to do voluntary work, but it's not their choice, and I don't think you can obligate someone to do that. Last off, voluntary work is not good for the economy because it can lead to the misuse of unemployed people. And by that we mean that if there are too many voluntary workers, then people can take advantage of that in a bad way, so that they won't have to pay more money, so just that the work can be done just by using charity workers. So to sum it up and to conclude this, we think people shouldn't be obliged to do voluntary work when they are unemployed, because voluntary work is something you want to do from inside your heart and not just because the government obligates you. Thank you for your time, and this was our opposition.
So we would like to thank you all for speaking, and as a jury we will decide the winner in a few minutes. Okay, well, based on the arguments and the way that the arguments were clarified, we pronounce the opposition as the winner of this debate. Thank you all for coming, and we're moving on to the next debate.